right on your local business with Dames Nellas
on 99.9 Virgin Radio.
It is Dames Nellas for 99.9 Virgin Radio, back with another episode of Local Love. We're sitting down with entrepreneurs and small business owners across the GTA to show them some love as we navigate through this pandemic. Today, we have certified personal trainer, nutritionist, and founder of Elite Culture, Victor Miranda, with us. Vic, what's up, my guy?
Thank you for having me, D. Hello, everybody. You yourself. Thank you again. Appreciate it, bro.
That's how you know this guy know me a long time. He just called me D.
First off, we go back.
We go back. First off, I noticed the artifacts that you have on there. Crenshaw representing. Rest in peace, Nipsey.
Rest in peace.
It seems like we're doing a lot of RIPs with our hip hop icons over the past couple of years and weeks. You know, how you feel about first Nipsey and then obviously DMX?
You know what, man? Well, for DMX, I'm 33 now, so that was 98, 99 when X first came on the scene. That was me 10, 11 years old, 12 years old, just starting our teenage years. And I mean, we can go back to how much we love music and we grew up on hip hop. And that was one of the forefathers, man. Like that one more than I think the outside of the Nipsey one really hurt, I would say, the most, because again, to us, that was the icon, man. And we can't forget he was the first to do it in the sense of like that gritty rap to have 2 #1 albums in 1 year, to have 5 #1 albums back to back to back. Like those are numbers you don't really even, outside of Drake, you don't really hear those numbers no more. And he did it his way, no commercial, and he grew up on it, man. Grew up on him. So that one hurt a lot. But again, even with like the Nipsey, same thing, man. I just kind of look to those guys that inspired me growing up and kind of molded me into the individual I am today. So terrible losses, but we keep the spirit alive.
So with that being said, I want to know what your background is in regards to health and fitness. I think it's important to kind of educate the audience as to who Victor Miranda is.
I've done it all. Like I've done, bodybuilding, physique shows. I've taken my body to the most extremes, and when it comes to dieting, to healthy eating, to the whole lifestyle. I really, truly don't just preach this, I really live it. So for me, it's like I like to teach others. I don't like to just preach, and not stand behind my word or stand behind what I believe in. And I love this industry. It's unfortunate, obviously, the situation that we're in now. But I think that throughout this whole thing, it's going to highlight some real leaders in the industry when this is all said and done. And I hope to be one of those. And I live by the same, this kind of sums up what I believe in. And it's basically movement is medicine. It's a slogan that goes around a lot. But what it means to me, and it doesn't have to be, lifting weights. It doesn't have to be being the macho guy or anything like that. My parents just picked up hiking, for example. It could be dance classes. It could be dance. But we highlight and emphasize the medicine side of just natural movement and what happens to the body when we do move, and when we move a lot, when we move often. So that's kind of like the agenda that I'm going to be pushing moving forward from this whole pandemic that we've been through.
That is great, man. We could definitely see you obviously online. Instagram has been really good for you, and you've been flourishing over there, basically putting out free workouts where a lot of people are charging and doing what they can do. Yeah. It's a difficult space to be in as an entrepreneur, as a fitness center owner. But I want to discuss how you eventually got to the point to create and step out on your own and develop Elite Culture, because you weren't always the business owner, right? There was Victor Miranda. I've seen you at the biggest when you were competing, and then I've seen you kind of transition, not so much out of it, because I'm sure you still, lift weights and bodybuild here and there, but it's more mobility and it's more movement is medicine, as you just said. So is that the premise and the foundation for Elite Culture? And what exactly do the 2 words Elite Culture mean to you?
This past summer is kind of like where I constructed the concept of Elite Culture with my partner. I can't forget to mention my guy, Azam. He's somebody that I met in the industry, somebody that shares the same ideologies, the same mindset that I share. And we kind of ended up quarantining together because we knew where we wanted to go when this was all said and done. I think the biggest thing was the question mark in the air about how long. So we didn't really, predict it to be a year. I think it started off with like, we're going to be in lockdown for 2 weeks, right? Something like that. And we were a little bit smarter in the sense of like looking around the world and seeing the trends that have been happening, like in China when it first happened, that this isn't a 2 week cycle. This is going to be an ongoing thing. Then slowly, a couple of my friends that work corporate started working from home, and then corporate was telling them that they're going to be in home for a couple of months. So I kind of knew ahead of time where we were headed with the whole pandemic in terms of the length of it. So I really had to, we really had to buckle down and be like, okay, you know what, for us, we want to be obviously our own creators. We want to be in our own space and be responsible for our destiny. So it was only the right move for us to do, the entrepreneur way and create our own identity. And with that identity came, the concept, man, we made a bunch of different names. And
Yeah,
I think we hammered it down, D, to the whole fact of like, what are we really trying to build here? What individuals are we trying to pull into our community, into our little domain that we're going to essentially be building? And it came down to it that like, it didn't matter what walk of life you were from. We were embracing all walks of life with movement is medicine at the forefront, encouraging people to move and move often. So, that's where the two words, we know what elite is. Elite is the top class, the top of the top. And culture is kind of like all our beliefs, ideologies put together, and growing our mind, body, and soul through those beliefs and coming together as a community and forming this community and just taking care of one another. So that's kind of where you get the whole elite culture. It's just, I'm not trying to say that we're superior to anything. I'm just trying to say that we're just trying to be elite in who we are as individuals and share that space with like-minded individuals as well.
The elite culture part, I think it's important that you button down. It's not about being superior to anybody. It's a space, and health and fitness is here for everybody. If you're looking to be enlightened and you're looking to live your longest, most beautiful life, the vessel that you transport yourself in has to be up to snuff. So
that's exactly it.
Yeah, so I think that's great. And I wanted to touch that just to let everybody know that it isn't an elitism thing, because sometimes there are negative connotations associated with words for whatever reason. Yeah. But with guys like yourself who are kind of stepping out and developing and building a brand on your own, both you and your partner, it's important that people understand the messaging. You touched briefly on the social media stuff, which has been flourishing. You've been doing very well. We'll plug that later on in the show. But I want to ask you why, in this time, when the money is pretty much slowed up throughout the entire fitness business, you've decided to give away as opposed to charge for like a Zoom class, or are you even doing that? I have no idea what you're doing on the business end, but I see a lot of free workouts going on your Instagram, bro.
Everything I do pays off in the long run. And I learned that lesson at a very young age, without jumping too far outside of the scope or what we're speaking on now, D, you're a man of charity as well. I see what you do with your charity work and your philanthropy work and things like that. I'm in the same boat, and we have the same mind frame when it comes to that. Just giving, man, that whole concept in itself, just to give, is a powerful thing. And in a moment where the whole world is stuck in a place where it can seem hopeless and it seems tough, it only seemed right to me to, why not? If I'm considering myself to have all these blessings and be thankful for what I do have and have this opportunity and have a platform like social media to share things, it was only right to me. It was just right. It starts off free. If it escalates into something that pays off in the long run, great. If it doesn't, great. Because again, I've accumulated such a resume on it that it looks good on its own. And the fact that I don't have to really chase the money or anything like that, it doesn't put pressure on me.
My hope is that somebody watches this and then they move over and they check you out. And then because there's so much fruits within the labor, they're going to support you in the long run, right? So that's pretty much the whole point and the premise of Local Love, which is what we're doing on the radio station. And be sure to check it out 7 p.m. where we highlight all the businesses that we're interviewing here. And of course, you can check this out on all the websites, 999virginradio.ca. I got a couple more questions for you here on a serious topic. We briefly touched on not knowing the end date of this COVID-19 pandemic. Now, this has created anxiety among other mental problems throughout the populace. I'm just wondering if you have a question for those in charge, if you have a question for the civilians who are not really abiding by the rules being set out by those in charge, like where's your frustration level at with this? And what would you like to say?
If you're a leader, you don't want to lead by what comes out of your mouth. You want to lead by your actions. And as basic as that sounds, I don't think that our leadership was led through action. I think it was a lot of talk. I think that it's unfortunate that we're trying for the third time to lock down a city, and it's proven that it hasn't worked before. So, there's that saying that goes, you keep doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. That's insanity.
Yeah.
So I think that's the perfect word to describe how we feel and how the population feels. We feel like we're going crazy because, again, you're trying the same thing over and over and over again with no results. You're the leader of this country, of this province, of this city. So for us to see light or to see hope, we want to see change. We want to see a difference. We don't want to see the same thing repeated over again with no results.
It is an underlying tone with people who are in your position. And I'm not talking about fitness. I'm talking about local small business.
Small businesses, right? Yeah.
They're telling you can't open your facility to train people. What are you training people for? Their health. Well, what do you want to be healthy for? So you can fight off disease, But at the same time, I can't have X amount of people in my facility yet, the big box chain stores are just wide open. And then the other part of the scenario that a lot of people fail to mention is a lot of these people, I know people that own barbershops, yourself, fitness centers, all these kind of things, who have invested in the personal protection that the government said you had to invest in order to keep those doors open. But now all that investment is literally just like throwing money down and away down the drain because you can't really open up, right? So the point of the platform is not to bash anybody. It's just to get the word out so people support you. And if the businesses that are on the show are able to survive through the pandemic, once things go back to normal, they're gonna perform at a high level. That's the whole.
I think so too. I mean,
key, right?
I think the ones that do get out of this, and my heart goes to the ones that don't. I have a few close people that this is just they didn't make it. Opening and closing was probably the killer of it. I mean, if they would have probably stayed closed throughout and us find different results, it might have been a better result for them. But that whole open, close, it probably ended up costing us more than just being closed, you know? And my heart, like I said, my heart goes out to them, but the ones that do make it through, like, I believe they're gonna prosper.
Victor Miranda, elite culture, fitness icon, guru,
Hey.
legend. We're working on that.
I love it,
Let
man.
people know where they can find you on social media and how they can get in touch. Either if they're looking to get some training, maybe get their diet right, maybe look for some supplementation to build their immune system, whatever it is, how can they contact you?
Absolutely. So you can, on Instagram, you can find me at Protein Poppy.
Legendary name, yo. Legendary.
You know what? So just a quick, I gotta explain the name to the ones that don't know. So
okay.
Obviously we know Drake is Champagne Poppy and Drake started the whole trend. I won't lie, I stole the bit from him. But it was given to me in the gym, and because I come from Spanish descent, obviously the word poppy is a form of endearment. So it was just catered to me there. I think World Gym was the place. D, I think you remember there at one point.
Yeah, man.
A couple of the members were just like, "Hey, bro, Protein Poppy's in the house. What's going on?" And it stuck. It's actually, I'm sure you'll put it up, D, but it's protein.poppy.ec on Instagram. You guys look out for the Elite Culture website coming soon. We're obviously just waiting to get a better grasp on things before we can offer our services and all that kind of stuff. So look out for the website, probably under the same name. And look out for the Instagram coming soon for Elite Culture as well. We're working on a lot of stuff behind the scenes, guys. So in the meantime, if you want to hear any updates, you can just follow me. And then you'll see all of my trainers that I brought on board that are ready to get the show going. Meet my partner as well, too. Another great dude. You guys can follow him as well. And yeah, and that's how you can reach out to me, guys. And then we can talk from there. We can take it from there.
Love that. My man, sure. Victor Miranda, protein.poppy.ec on Instagram. There's a lot of great things for you over there. If you're watching this, you're trying to get your health, your fitness together. Victor is the man. Vic, my brother, salute.
Man.
It's been a
Thank
pleasure.
you, my boy.
And
Love
hopefully
always, bro.
when this is all over and done with, it's a burrito bowl. All right?